Well, at least I'm not going to whistle at you like Carl, but I'm giving you a gentle hint here. Yeah, okay, that's enough. All right, so you've probably guessed this is Tim Knight from Slope of Hope here in beautiful Palo Alto, California. Today is the 27th of October, 2010. And as I want to do, I'm diving into this video with no plan except to finish at 10 minutes. That's it. Before you is the really only good news slash hope for us bearish types, which is the euro. It's funny because the euro and the equity market are very much correlated, but they don't necessarily move in absolute lockstep. By way of example, we could go here and punch in the ES to kind of see how over the past 120 days on an hour-by-hour basis these guys have lined up. And as you can see, it's pretty close, especially lately. Back in ever since July, these guys have been very closely aligned. As I indicated, though, there have been sometimes they stray from each other a bit, as we see here late in August and early in September. But they are very, very similar in terms of motion. Now, the euro has gotten well ahead of the dollar in terms of its ability to drop. Excuse me, not the dollar, but the equity market. In other words, take today, for example. If we look at, let's pick the nastiest one, the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ was up again, 0.32%, whereas as you just saw, the euro was actually down relatively hard. And over the past 2 months, it's been pretty much a moonshot. October, not percentage-wise as dramatic as September, but basically a straight line up nonetheless. We lately, I say lately, I mean, I don't know how long it's been, but oftentimes we seem to be getting these little cutesy morning fake-outs and afternoon rallies. And today was really no different. Looking at what happened yesterday in the S, we had this nice progression down pretty much all through the evening, and even managed to get even lower in the market day, which is kind of astonishing. Usually the bears only get their excitement really at the opening bell, and it's misery from there. But it really headed down pretty hard, down in the double-digit negative. And then for the past couple of hours of the day, it just went zoomed higher. I was able, in spite of this, to turn a profit for the day for a couple of reasons. One, I'm not entirely short. I do have some longs, some of them which I'm quite happy with. And two, I scooted out of some positions earlier on in the day, like, for example, IYF. Not a very exciting instrument, but I covered this guy earlier in the day. I had a pretty big position that, and so thank goodness that I did, because it's actually wound up higher. Actually, the one I was thinking was IYM. Also, I got out, don't remember exactly where, but definitely well below where we closed for the day. So a positive day for me, although not by anything exciting, but I'll take it. I will happily take it, especially with the NASDAQ up to, as far as I'm concerned, a new high again. Now, when I say new high, obviously it does include like the year 2000, but for all practical purposes, a new high. Because 2000 was about 8,000 years ago, as far as any of us are concerned. So as I said, I do have some long positions. I'll change to a daily graph here, which is really what I tend to use more commonly. A couple that I tend to like, I will show you. One of them is, let me see, SOL, which I guess is kind of an amusing ticker symbol, but hopefully I will not be SOL on this stock. This is, I got into this earlier today, and it doesn't look very dramatic here, but it had a nice little bounce, and I really like the shape of this pattern. Another one that I did a post about today is DMAN, Demand Tech. This has a nice breakout here. And as some people mentioned, the airlines have been doing really surprisingly well. Here is U.S. Airways Group, which for some peculiar reason has the ticker symbol LCC. But a very pretty cup with handle pattern here. And so I've got, as I suggested, I got 16 different long positions. Some of them are kind of like long-term keepers, like LO. This is not a very exciting stock, but this is the kind of stock which, like, say, McDonald's, which I don't own, but just by way of example, is the kind of boring, solid instrument that, on the whole, goes up year after year. Okay, so what else? Now, all eyes are looking toward next week, of course, and it's a curious environment we live in because I don't think there's anybody out there who says, "Oh boy, you guys are just too worried. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to work out fine. Just don't worry. This is going to work out." Everyone pretty much agrees, no, it's going to be a disaster. We just don't know when, and in the meantime, let's just make the most of it. And so this whole bear-bull division is a bit artificial. I think the so-called bears are more along the lines of the worriers and perhaps those who want to actually do something with those concerns, whereas the bulls, which, God bless them, have been doing great for as long as I can remember, I think also acknowledge, yeah, there's going to be a disaster later, but it's not here yet, and we're going to make as much money as we can in the meantime. And that has been a good strategy. The worriers have been either making no money or losing it, and the devil-may-cares have been doing sensationally well. There's quite a few momentum stocks, as I've pointed out, which are evidence of this. It's sort of like a slice of the year 1999 again, with some of these just doing spectacularly well, up hundreds or in some cases even thousands of percent. Old William Shatner never thought he would make his fortune from a place called Priceline, I'm sure, but Captain Kirk is a rich man thanks to these guys. Look at this. I mean, down from, what was this, $7 to $372. Just mind-boggling. Now, since we're on Priceline, which I have no position in, I would just hasten to add that this is, at this moment, I don't see why anyone would buy this for any sort of like upside. I mean, it's just mashed right up against this line. Nowhere is it written that this will not be a $1,000 stock one day. All I am saying is that this doesn't look like a buying opportunity to me. It looks like, if you're really that confident and you're long it, a holding opportunity, or if you'd like to take profits, a selling opportunity. I personally don't tend to short things like this just because they're absolutely terrifying. I mean, look at this thing right here. The other thing I would point out that's sort of interesting about stocks like this is the following. Let's just scooch and pretend that we're back in July of 2010. And if you looked at this stock, this doesn't look like a buy really at all. It looks quite dangerous. And what can be where the fundamental players can beat us chartist types are in situations like this, because when you have an amazing franchise or business such as this, there comes a time when the fundamentals really trump any chart patterns. And this is very much the case here, because this went from 170 just this summer, not that long ago, up to more than double that. And that is breathtaking for a stock to more than double in price in the span of a few months, particularly when it seemed to be really at the cusp of some really serious problems there. Didn't happen. So where I'm at right now is I've got bunch of shorts, not as bunch as I have in the past, but a bunch of shorts. I've got a sociable number of longs, about a 25-75 split, equity-wise, between those two. And I'm staying kind of light. I don't think I'm going to do anything aggressive until late next week, and hopefully, please God, some of the smoke will have cleared by then, and we can make some informed choices without this appalling uncertainty right now. So that is the 10-minute mark for me. And with that, I will close and bid you good night.